All right, I know, I understand. I'm feeling it with you guys. Markets getting crazy. We see prices increasing by 15, 20% and then dropping by 20% the next day. There's uncertainty in the market, regulation, all-out war on cryptocurrency getting attacked from different angles. We have basically so much uncertainty in this market, but the only thing is certain for me is my top investments. And you guys know that Cardano is one of my biggest holdings. So what I want to do in this video is secure that investment by doing deep research into Cardano to see if I can make an accurate price prediction. Okay, so in this video, we're going to be making a very detailed and well-researched price prediction on Cardano. You know, I've been talking about it for a while. You know, I'm a hype beast for Cardano. So what can it potentially be in the future? Can it hit $10? Can it hit $20? This is the question I'm going to try to solve in this video. Keep watching. Alex back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Cardano's price. We're going to be making a price prediction, and I'm going to get very detailed and provide you guys with a ridiculous amount of evidence backing this prediction. I'm also going to look into, of course, market conditions, news that's recently going on, also a thesis that I have developed, and a lot of people have agreed with me on this thesis. And then towards the end of this video, I'm going to give you guys a price prediction on Cardano's price. Now, if you watch my channel for a couple years, or if you've been on my channel for a while, you know I make price predictions. This is probably going to be one of the most detailed price predictions I have ever given on any coin when it comes to trying to predict the price of the future value of the coin. So very interesting topic of discussion here. So if you appreciate this content, do us both a favor, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and of course share it with a friend, preferably someone that likes Cardano, because we as a community are growing. And I'm telling you right now, I said in my last video, Cardano community is one of the most resilient communities I've ever seen in my life. They've been a top staker for a very long period of time, even through the Sell the News event with the smart contracts and stuff like that, even through the uneventful smart contract launch and the fact that their ecosystem is not developed. The price remains semi-stable, and it's actually still holding its ground as the top 3 cryptocurrency in all of the cryptocurrency world. So very interesting, way to look at it, considering they do not have any function. They have functionality, but compared to other ecosystems, it's pretty crazy that they're able to hold this top 3 position. People believe in, the sweet spot of the trilemma when it comes to scalability, security, and decentralization. They have a unique sweet spot that nobody else is doing. They're building smart contracts in a way that nobody else is doing, extended UTXOs. So when the ecosystem develops, I am very bullish on Cardano in general. Now, I want to be very clear with you guys. A lot of the research in this video is going to be Bitcoin and market conditions related, because we need to know where Bitcoin's going in general if we want to predict the price of any asset in cryptocurrency accurately. If hopefully that makes sense. Bitcoin still holds dominance over the market. It's still worth about 40% of all the dominance in the market. So if we can predict Bitcoin, then it's easier to predict other assets like Cardano or any cryptocurrency on the market. And I'm sure you guys already know that. I just wanted to explain that to people that don't understand this cryptocurrency craziness that we got going on here. So let's jump into some recent news that's going on. As you can see here, SNC interns right now, and it says, "Are we the baddies?" And the reason why they're saying that is because, again, like I said, SEC is attacking cryptocurrency at all angles. There's going to be a lot of enforcement, and unfortunately, a lot of people will get hurt. Gary Gensler, this was basically from a recent interview with him. He's basically the head of the SEC, and basically the translation that the cryptocurrency community sees is, we see you guys making money without us, and we're going to have to make sure it stops. It's very funny. Stupid, guys, stupid. All right, if we look at the month here of September, you can see historically it's really bad, and we've had this recent dip in Bitcoin's price, and the whole market fell with Bitcoin. But you could see that right after that, October is historically a good month, right? Literally see it right here. Since 2013, the majority of the time, it's a good month for October, and this is something that I personally agree with. I think October, November, December is going to be the last big leg up in cryptocurrency. People call it the last hoorah, right? We're going to be able to make a lot of money, and hopefully I'm going to try to cash out relatively close to the top. Also, guys, I'll give you a cash out video. If you guys want me to give you a cash out video, leave a comment below. I'll give you the exact detailed instructions on how I'm going to be potentially cashing out the same way I did in the last dip. I didn't call the exact top, but I did cash out relatively near where Bitcoin reached its all-time high. So I'm going to do it again. My goal here is to get more crypto. I'm in cryptocurrency for a long run, no matter what, guys. So I'm not a day trader. I saw some people saying in comments that, I'm not a day trader either. I'm an investor, but I'm also not stupid. And I also know that at the bottom of the bull run, if I'm cash heavy, I can buy more than anybody else and I can get way better returns. So my goal here, again, at the end of the day, is always to accumulate more crypto. Okay. And then I also have, of course, the investor bag that I never touch, which is about 25% of my total portfolio that's just sitting there. I'll never touch it. But I'm talking about the 75% trading portfolio. I'm going to try to cash out. But as you can see here, again, back to the topic of discussion, October is historically a good month for crypto. So let's wait to see what goes on. Let's not try to panic sell now. And let's try to make some money, right? If we look at the Bitcoin archive, you can see the Brazilian bank BTG Pactual has launched an app to buy Bitcoin, the first bank in Brazil to offer to its customers. Maybe they're following in the footsteps of El Salvador and other countries adopting it rapidly. Bitcoin's looking good. Breaking, Nancy Pelosi reportedly bought $1 million of put options on China hours before Evergrande announced potential default. So if you guys don't know what's going on in the macro world, China's looking scary with their economy. It looks like it might be another 2008 housing market crash, similar to what happened in the United States, but it's playing out right now in China. It's because of Evergrande. I've covered this topic multiple times. You can watch my other videos for it, but it's crazy to see that we have things like this, like where people can, this has to be illegal. Like we're going to see manipulation in every market. Like they keep trying to say that cryptocurrency specifically is the Wild Wild West. They're manipulating, everybody. There's manipulation in every market. Okay, there's always going to be a way to take advantage of the system, and the more decentralized we get, the further away from manipulation, in my personal opinion, we get. Right now, the current traditional monetary system is manipulated a lot. Also, this one thing by CoinDesk, kind of speaking to, what's going on in the crypto space. From the creator of Polkadot. Let's just listen to what he has to say. It's pretty interesting in my personal opinion. And also at the same time, it's speaking to Cardano as well. It's basically confirming the Cardano belief.
What will happen with DeFi is, in my opinion, what will happen with everything else. You must be either truly decentralized or you will be required to be licensed to do KYC, AML, and generally smothered with regulations. And I think I'm already on record, but if I'm not, then let this be it, of saying that I think this is, broadly speaking, as long as the regulations protect technologists, I think this is, broadly speaking, a good thing, because it will require projects to actually decentralize. What will happen with DeFi is...
So basically what he's saying is the truly decentralized common good products. He did take a shot at Solana too, by the way, when Solana went down. This includes Cardano. What he's saying is that, when regulation comes into play, the truly decentralized ones will be the ones that are resilient. So Cardano's looking good with this recent regulation that's coming up. If we look at other news, you can see that, there's a lot of tension around the world. And this is in Australia because of the COVID restrictions. They're going really hardcore on the COVID restrictions. I just want to show you kind of like, this is like what's going on in the world, guys. So a lot of uncertainty, not just in the cryptocurrency market, but in general, with COVID-19, with, basically what's going on with the macroeconomic structure, with Evergrande and everything like that. So things are very uncertain, guys, but like, this is kind of scary. And I wanted to just kind of...
Attention, this is a police public order warning. You have previously been directed to leave. Leave now or force may be used. No further warnings will be given.
Like, again, like I said, this has nothing to do with cryptocurrency. I mean, I do think it does because, you want freedom of money, right? And you also want freedom of everyday life. But what we're seeing in Australia might be a bigger play in the future for other countries. So just pay attention to what's going on with this. I don't want to say the word again, everything that's going on. Just pay attention to the world, guys, because it'll kind of leave hints to where money is going. If we look at the SEC chair, Gary Gensler, saying he wants to clean up cryptocurrency before a spill. I think he called it like a poker chip. Everybody's going crazy on him recently because his negativity towards cryptocurrency. He kept saying it. He studied at MIT in cryptocurrency and taught cryptocurrency at MIT for years. I think cryptocurrency will attack anything at this point, but I think he's trying to bring regulation in a somewhat positive way, and he does seem to understand it. So we'll see how he regulates cryptocurrency in the future. Chain analysis using IP scraping block explorer to aid law enforcement, leaking docs say. So basically, as you can see, again, the general thesis here, and we're going to go into like what's going on in cryptocurrency. I'm just backing up what evidence by you guys seeing like the actual news. They're tightening up on regulation. They want to track people, in this case, tracking it by IP address information. And this channel will find ways, and I'll show you guys ways to override these things. But in general, guys, just be careful. Coinbase is also, again, trying to take a stab at regulation. They're thinking about compliance a little different. Over the coming months, we plan to give the public a look under the hood at the programs and technologies we use to keep customers safe and bad actors off our platforms. So you can see they're taking a step towards regulation as well. Coinbase recently had to stop their lending protocol because the SEC threatened to sue them. So again, this is the gist. We see Tom Brady adopting some cryptocurrency by accepting salary in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. We see Snoop Dogg being the NFT whale with $17 million collection in NFTs. So again, adoption is still happening. I think people in general, the public, are starting to move to the side of cryptocurrency, and this is why they're scared, and this is why they are consistently trying to regulate cryptocurrency. One thing I wanted to point out about Evergrande's situation in crypto I thought was very interesting is that they also have some offshore coupon denominated USD due September 23rd. Again, just really briefly to go through the actual situation. They're one of the largest real estate groups in the world. In China, I think they're the second largest, and they defaulted. They cannot pay their liabilities, and they have more liabilities coming up September 23rd. Can this bring down the market? The FUD brought down the market originally, so this is just very bad for the economic system. Now, the thing is, let's say hypothetically we go into a recession or depression in the United States or in your country. Just understand, I believe, just like, what happened with the Black Swan event, I believe cryptocurrency will recover the fastest. So, that's where I'm going to place my chips, right? Even if it drops, right? Even if it drops, just like, Black Friday with the COVID scare in the market, Bitcoin was still the best producing asset since that time, I believe in March 2020. So again, we could definitely get a recovery way faster. In my personal opinion, it's a world currency. People are clearly using it as a hedge against inflation. Inflation is getting scary for sure. Robinhood doubles down on cryptocurrency new wallet offering. So Robinhood is becoming more decentralized. They're actually creating a real wallet, actually allowing you to use the cryptocurrency. So obviously a step in the right direction. So now let's go into my thesis of what's happening in cryptocurrency, which is kind of making me a little bit bullish. I mean, the general gist here is they're attacking it from all angles. So as you can see here, the first attack, the big one, was the controversial crypto rules remain in the infrastructure bill after House vote. So if you guys didn't know, they were passing an infrastructure bill that was unrelated to crypto. They snuck in some guidelines around the term broker, right? We've had multiple attempts to clarify what the term broker means, but they decided to pretty much completely ignore the whole entire cryptocurrency, space, their involvement, and trying to specifically categorize the term broker. Now, it's really interesting because I've heard from multiple sources that they actually crashed the server. We don't really see things like this with infrastructure bills. We don't see the excitement around these things typically, but the cryptocurrency community banded together. And this was the first moment where I saw like attack against, I guess you can say, regulation when it comes to the cryptocurrency space. But again, it remains unchanged, right? So this was like the first big attack that we saw it. The second big attack is when we saw some of these centralized points of interest, like these interest softwares like Celsius, BlockFi. As you can see here, BlockFi receives cease and desist. And of course, Coinbase not allowing to launch their Lend product. We see attack on all three of them at pretty much the same time. And basically, Celsius has been running for like 5-10 years. Like they've been running for a long period of time, never got an attack before. And for some reason, they all come at the same time to attack them. So I thought that was very, very sketchy. This is where we get into kind of like theory. I don't know if this is 100% true, but if we look at, for example, even recently with Solana, they got attacked with a DDoS attack, okay, which brought down the blockchain, I will say, as well as at the same exact time, Ethereum, as you can see here, September 15th, successfully evades network attacks. So who's attacking these blockchains? I don't know. Ethereum just didn't go down at all. They're just more decentralized and much bigger system. But for some reason, we're getting attacked. Cryptocurrency is being attacked. And I will say from personal experience, considering I have consultants that do TikTok on crypto, TikTok was also attacked around like literally the same time. They were cracking down on TikTok influencers that talk about cryptocurrency. So again, all out attack. It's crazy. And then of course, the El Salvador adopting Bitcoin as legal tender if we look at Bitcoin's price on the exact day, this is September 7th, this is the day after. It launched on September 6th. Literally, that was the first bit right here, September 6th. You guys see it at the bottom, 2021. There was a huge dip on September 6th, 2021, and it felt almost artificial. It was an artificial dip. It was like straight down, as you can see from right here. So again, it kind of seemed orchestrated. It was supposed to be a good event, right? It's supposed to be positive news, and the price just dumps, and the whole market just dumps at the exact same time. So again, things to take in consideration. All out attack, that is a thesis, and this was what makes me bullish, because if they're attacking it this hard, then it has to be bullish. There has to be something that we're missing here. Think about it. Like, if they're really that scared, then it must be like we're making some headway here. So let's try to predict the price of Bitcoin, because like I've told you guys 1,000 times, Bitcoin pretty much predicts the market. Is Bitcoin bullish, bearish? Are we going to 100K Bitcoin? I'm gonna try to answer that with on-chain metrics. As you can see here, Glassnode Insights. So there's a couple things that are pointing towards bullish in my personal opinion. The percent balance on exchanges, on all exchanges, as you can see here, is decreasing. People are taking Bitcoin off the exchanges, and we've also seen this with miners and whales holding Bitcoin, accumulating Bitcoin. We're at accumulation zone, as you can see here, since back over here. And then if we open, for example, this on a full history, you can see that it's not really like that. And you can also see that every time we do start accumulating and balances on exchanges starts dropping, we see the price jump up after. Now this right here, it's not going to be the best indicator. I'm just showing that Bitcoin is leaving the exchanges, and typically on exchanges where they sell the Bitcoin, right? You can see right here, even at the bottom, like right here at the bottom, when we had that Black Swan event, they just started accumulating. And then when this dip happened, you can see they started selling, and then now we're back in accumulation zone. Even with this recent dip, we have still accumulation, and we could even look at this at the higher resolution on the 1 hour. We did see a little jump though. I will say there was a little jump of people trying to send it back to the exchanges, but a very small jump, as you can see there, nothing significant at all. But in general, again, people are taking Bitcoin off of exchanges, so that's really important. If we go back, there's a couple of other screeners I want to back up my evidence with. If you come over here, BTC exchange net position change, kind of similar metric, but is looking at it from a different perspective. You could see that there's a lot of Bitcoin leaving the exchanges as well from this metric. If we look at the full history, you could also see something very interesting. We've never really seen this much Bitcoin leave the exchanges up until the Black Swan event. Again, right here, look, there's not that much red at the bottom. There's a lot of green, a lot of Bitcoin, coming onto exchanges, like the net position is coming onto exchanges. But if we look right here, after the Black Swan event, look how much red there is. A lot of Bitcoin's leaving. So again, it might not reflect in the price because this is such long-term things. Honestly, the way I look at it, it does reflect in price. If we look at the S&P 500, or if we look at the U.S. currency dollar index, or whatever the case is, you can see that ever since this Black Swan event, Bitcoin has rose by larger percentages and has served as a better store of value than gold in the same time period. But this is also confirming the fact that after that, look how aggressive people got by storing their Bitcoin off exchanges. So it's showing HODL positions being created. So very interesting there. Also, if we look at this right here, this is basically BTC net unrealized profit loss, or the new pool index, or new pool, as you can see there. It gets detailed in the explanation of it, so I'm not going to try to explain it very detailed to you guys. The video would be way too long. We still have the Cardano price prediction to make. But if we look at the full history, you can kind of see it from a very basic perspective that there's these time periods where we have euphoria or greed, and this is typically blue right here. And these are also the times where, it's usually the top. So you can see right here, we look at the early data of Bitcoin. It's not as accurate, but you can see clearly, look, we have like some local tops where there's greed, right? But the ultimate one right here, we were spending a lot of time in the euphoria greed phase, the blue phase, and then it ended up being the top for Bitcoin. And you can also see the same thing happened here. We had the local top, then we had the top right here. And also in 2018, we had the euphoria greed blue right here. So if you can see from like where we're at now, we haven't really seen euphoria greed. Now you could also make the argument that we're going to have less greed considering people understand cryptocurrency more and more. So we're not going to see it as much. But I would like to see at least a little bit of blue before actually saying Bitcoin has topped out. You can see even we're coming into the yellow zone, which is like optimism, which is looking good, to be honest, for the price of Bitcoin in general. This is an indicator to predict the tops and bottoms. And it just, again, like I said, there has not been a top indicator yet. So we're in the medium high zone. So again, like I said, it looks like the top is not in for Bitcoin just yet. We could have an event where we, explode from there. Also, Another thing, if we look at BTC futures open interest perpetual, basically people taking longs and shorts and Bitcoins, you can see that sentiment has changed a little bit. With this recent drop in September, as you can see right here, we had kind of like, you see how steep the fall is. So a lot of people getting stomped out of their positions when it comes to liquidations, right? But now in this recent dip, you can see it's not as aggressive. So the point here I'm trying to make, and I'll confirm it with this right here, people are understanding it a little bit better. Here, they were like just caught off guard. September 6th, like I said, with El Salvador Bitcoin legal tender event, they just didn't anticipate it, and a lot of people got shaken out of their positions. Also, they got taken advantage of. Whales in cryptocurrency, what they like to do is they like to shake out longs, and what happens is it causes like this kind of like negative feedback where they can drop the price of Bitcoin even more if they get people out of their longs, okay? So in this case right here, they were able to manipulate the price of Bitcoin a lot more, and in this recent drop, you can see it's not as aggressive, so people are getting smarter and understanding what's going on a little bit more, and you can kind of see the same thing right here. You see this aggressive red spike. We see a similar price drop recently, and we do not see as much. So people are getting smarter in their leverage positions, and this is allowing in the future for us to not get manipulated as much. So hopefully people get smarter with these leverage positions. Like, be very careful out there, guys. I've talked negative about leverage for a very long time for a good reason. Also, if we look at the Bitcoin entity adjusted ASOL, basically people moving Bitcoin, smart money. This is a good way to look at smart money. You could see that right here, when the price of Bitcoin was going up, this gray line is Bitcoin's price. Smart money started aggressively moving their bags, right? Maybe to sell, maybe to, get interest, whatever the case is. They were much more active, and you can see it with the price increasing right here. Now, we see a downwards trend now, meaning they're holding the cryptocurrency more and more, again, taking away from the supply. This is kind of lining up with them taking money off of exchanges, people taking money off of exchanges to hold, right, to accumulate. We can see, again, as price of Bitcoin goes up, they are moving the Bitcoin more and more. And as you can see right here, we are currently on a downtrend, speaking to the fact that people are holding Bitcoin over long periods of time. Also, another way to look at this metric is Bitcoin spent output age bands. You can see that we had a recent spike. The purple here are people that have held Bitcoin for long periods of time. And then the more yellow it gets is the more recent they've had the Bitcoin. They're moving it more frequently. But you can see that we had a little spike here. But in general, if we kind of zoom in a little bit closer, you can see it's dropping. So people that are holding Bitcoin for long periods of time, whales, people that just know a lot about Bitcoin, have been in it for a long period of time. Look at the purple. It's just dropping significantly. We're on a downwards trend. In general, again, backing up my thesis of people are accumulating Bitcoin, holding it in their wallets. They're taking off exchanges. They're holding it for longer periods of time. And this all speaks towards what? Scarcity, supply shock, right? Less Bitcoin on the market, meaning Bitcoin price increase. These are all bullish, very, very bullish. So on-chain metrics in general, and a lot of people have been voicing this opinion on the internet, looks very bullish. It looks very bullish. And, again, like I said, if we look at the long-term perspective of Bitcoin's price, that looks bullish as well. Also, one more thing, this guy looks like he's an expert in on-chain analysis, but he's also bullish, as you can see right here. I know it's forbidden to post anything bullish on Bitcoin right now, but I'm going to do it anyways. Illiquid supply is at an all-time high, so people are holding more. Liquid supply is demonstrating maturation as coins from 30K to 40K grow gray beards. So people are basically holding more. Highly liquid supply is a multi-year low, all right? Meaning people are not moving as much, right? And can we just show some charts here? So this is a macro trend of coin maturation. So you can see right here, today's liquidity coins have become tomorrow's hodl coins. People that usually typically are trading are hodling more and more. And you can see the highly liquid supply is at an all-time low, as you can see here. I'm sorry, not an all-time low, but a multi-year low. People are not moving their cryptocurrency as much anymore, or when it comes to Bitcoin specifically. And so all of this, again, pointing towards bullish Bitcoin and the longer time span, right? And this is why I've been so crazy about, hey, let's buy the dip. I bought the recent dip. I made ridiculous amounts of money off the recent dip. So again, good time, in my personal opinion, maybe to start entering into Bitcoin, have a strategy, understand, long-term. When you're investing in cryptocurrency, you want to think about it in a super long-term, especially if you don't know what you're doing, and just make sure you have good risk management. Also, whatever you're using to buy cryptocurrency, make sure, and of course, this is not financial advice, but make sure you guys are willing to hold it for the next cycle. So that's 2 to 3 years. Make sure you're willing to hold it for a long period of time. It's very, very important. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, Bitcoin looks bullish, right? We know the thesis behind cryptocurrency and how they're attacking it from pretty much every angle and how they're losing in some cases. Now let's look at ADA news, and then we'll go into the actual prediction of the price of ADA. All right, and recent development in ADA, you can see that the price took a steep fall to around the buying range that we are talked about multiple times in this channel. So of course, I bought the dip, okay? I bought the dip. And then you can see we have this large green candlestick right here. The dip was also bought by everybody else, 12% increase. So Cardano, again, looks very resilient. If we look at ADA versus BTC, you can see that if you were, like I said in my other videos, if you're a dinosaur, you hold BTC, but if you're trying to make money, you are 100 and something percent better. Let's just get an actual estimation. In the past 172 days, you would have made 154% more money if you held Cardano in comparison to BTC. Now, this one's also really cool, is that if you would have held Cardano in comparison to ETH, which is really hard to say about a lot of cryptocurrencies, you would have been 87% better. So people in Cardano are making a lot of money, and it seems like the smarter investment at this point. Also, the ADA pointed this out. Obviously, we don't have anything right now in Cardano except for NFTs, but you can see that in October, November, Q4 in general, we're going to see a lot of decentralized exchanges coming out, and that's where it's going to get crazy. That's where we're going to get that extra layer of adoption. That's where we're going to see DeFi flourish. That's where we're going to see the liquidity start to enter into Cardano when we get these decentralized exchanges up and they offer these crazy yields. When they offer these yields, similar to AVAX, similar to Solana, similar to all these other layer ones, we're going to see people want to take advantage of that. They're going to want to make money. So the whales, the liquidity providers, whatever, are going to start injecting their liquidity into the Cardano blockchain to get these percentages and to get these, of course, fast transaction speeds and low transaction fees, as well as security of Cardano. So things are looking bright in October, November, December. Q4 of this year is looking really bullish for the whole entire market, in my personal opinion, as well as, of course, Cardano. It's almost like they strategically placed this launch for like the end of the bull run. I don't know, but it might be a very eventful, time for Cardano. As you can see, the Cardano founder, Charles Hoskinson, he's basically, he contributed $20 million to establish a new mathematics center. So this guy right here, I mean, he's just all over the place, to be completely honest with you. And he looks like a very good leader. As you can see, the Cardano wallets are increasing. We're getting more wallets to adopt the Cardano blockchain. So this is obviously very bullish. And in recent news, we actually have a dapp website that they're creating, the dapp store, similar to what you have on your phone. I wish, Ethereum had this. So the same problem that we talked about in my last video where I said Cardano has a serious problem, is being solved. It's just going to take some time, right? And people are like, oh, it's clickbait. They just get emotional. Guys, I'm just going to be very clear with you. If you want me to talk good about everything all the time, this is not the channel for you. I will report on both sides of the story, regardless of how you feel. This is just my nature, and this allows us to have a logical perspective in cryptocurrency. And that video was not clickbait. Cardano definitely had a serious problem, and it looks like they're solving it right here with a dapp store. But they're basically going to have a prototype at the summit that's coming up, and developers will be able to upload their dapps running on Cardano and make them available to others. And they also have basically the system where it kind of like filter out the negative projects and stuff like that. But the Plutus dapp store specifically addresses 2 barriers to entry. There currently is no formal discovery process for a dapp. It's very true. There's all these third-party websites, but there's no formal discovery process on Ethereum. Almost all discovery happens organic, word of mouth means, or social media marketing. So this makes it very interesting. So we can have like maybe ranked dapps. Again, I want to be clear. On Ethereum, there are, dapp third-party websites called like dapp radar and stuff like that. But it looks like they're taking a more formal approach to it, so that's very interesting. For end users, there is no consolidated view of all dapps available to whatever ecosystem, so they're solving that issue. When that solves, then it's going to have definitely more adoption, in my personal opinion. Like I said, when the dapps come out, it's over. Cardano is going to the move. When we have real ecosystem demand, that's when we're going to see the real Cardano jump, which is going to play into my price prediction, which we'll be talking about towards the end of this video. But let me kind of let this guy talk, because this is from the actual Cardano IOHK YouTube channel, and he'll probably explain it a little bit better than me. But again, like I said, they're coming out with the new Plutus dapp store, and then they have a system to verify or certify some of these dapps. So very interesting. Let's see what they have to say.
Certification is going to be an increasingly important aspect as we venture into this new era of the Cardano blockchain. So let's take a look at certification standards. The Alonzo era will enable the possibility of creating smart contracts, decentralized applications, and other projects on top of Cardano. This opens up Cardano to a whole new developer community whose creative drive will raise Cardano's reach and utility. Any emergent ecosystem faces two key challenges at the beginning: discovery and quality. Users need to be able to find the products that they want to engage with and do so with the assurance of a certain baseline level of quality. The influx of new third-party applications poses the inherent risk of inappropriate or malicious material, or content that is simply just not up to the Cardano standards. To address the discovery and the quality assurance issues, we are introducing a certification program to vet applications developed on top of Cardano and those on the upcoming Plutus dapp store. The crucial role of certification is that our certification program aims to prevent code-level security vulnerabilities. We achieve this by deploying 3 levels of defense. Overall, our certification program offers a thorough and comprehensive set of methodologies for providing assurance to dapp store users. And this will all be possible in the upcoming Plutus dapp store that we are developing. So what is the Plutus dapp store?
Okay, I just explained the Plutus dapp store. They're showing it at the summit. They have this certification, as you can see there, that's going to weed out the negative projects that are, malicious actors. So this is all very bullish for Cardano. We see the infrastructure that I was talking about in my last video being developed in front of our eyes, so it's really good. Also, we can see the creator DSpark creating a wallet on Cardano, and they're calling it Flint. So again, more wallet adoption. If we come over here, there was just some recent news where people were like, oh, is Amazon Web Services adopting Cardano? But we see the principal executive kind of clarifying that they're just going to be at the event. They're keeping their fingers on the pulse of all innovations in the banking and the future of money discussions. So I just want to clear that up for you guys. If you heard that on the internet, it's not relatively true. And also, this is very positive. Yori has seen a huge increase in user base and a high load on our servers that may be creating some downtime for users. That's a good problem to have. We have continued to take steps to address the server load and have made improvements on our backend this weekend. Thanks for your patience. That's a good problem to have. People are adopting Cardano at a rapid rate, so definitely pay attention. Also, we can see Wise Crypto, which is basically a crypto ratings website, showing some love for Cardano. Love them or hate them, but the team behind ADA puts a ton of effort into research before any code is ever written. They have far and away the best proof of stake consensus mechanism on the market right now. The downside is always being late to the party, and it's their obvious weak spot. But it's not obviously the downside all the time. We let other people make mistakes and then capitalize on those mistakes by solving them. And then last thing here is we have a report coming from Gemini, and this is specifically in Singapore. ETH is obviously the most popular, but you can see right here, 40% of the people that participated in this poll are holding Cardano. So that's bullish for Cardano. And you can clearly see it's the third by popularity and probably the third, of course, by market cap. So it's holding its position, and I do think in the future people will adopt it more and more. But I think that's pretty interesting to know that people are jumping on Ethereum more than Bitcoin when it comes to popularity and stuff like that. Maybe the Bitcoin whales are just holding down the market cap, but this is also bullish for, even though Ethereum is the most popular, it's bullish for Cardano because, again, if Ethereum makes a mistake, Cardano is going to come in and capitalize on that. So we want smart contracts to be most popular, and then Cardano will fix everything that's going on. So let's jump into the last part of the video, which is probably going to be the most interesting part. The Cardano price prediction. I want to be very clear with you guys. It's probably not going to play out the way I say. I don't have an oracle ball. This is not financial advice. I just throw around numbers like in the back of a napkin, like very basic, numbers that I feel like everybody would agree with. And I do the math in front of you, and maybe you'll learn from this experience. But again, in general, guys, price predictions don't typically always play out to the exact number. That's why I underestimate. When I make a price prediction, I like to underestimate, okay, so that if it goes higher than that, of course, you'll be happy. But in general, this is used for long-term investments, guys. It's also not going to be a short-term thing. So just understand this. Please, please, please understand this. So the first number I want to point out is Bitcoin's dominance, which is 40.5%. The reason why I say that is because the best way, in my personal opinion, to predict the price of any asset in the market is first to predict the price of Bitcoin and where it's going to go in the near future. And if we could predict the price of Bitcoin, then we could predict the price of the total market capitalization if it holds its dominance at 40%. And then we could predict the market cap size of Cardano, which will allow us to give an accurate prediction. Now, again, just understand it's not accurate. So when I say these words, hold it with a grain of salt. But again, try to underestimate. So first things first, if we said that Bitcoin hypothetically went to 80K, which is underestimation, people are calling it to 100K. So I just want to be very clear. I'm underestimating everything. Let's say it's 80K because, I don't know, when people say something, like when everybody agrees that it's going to be 100K, it probably won't go to 100K. So it's probably going to get close to 100K, but 80K, in my personal opinion, is just more realistic. I rather undershoot. So that's an 81.81% increase. So from the current price of Bitcoin right now to 80K is an 81.81% increase. Now, how is that relevant? Well, if we do the same increase on the total market capitalization, as you can see here, it's about 2 trillion. We do a 1.81 increase, so 81% increase added on to its current total market capitalization. You can see the whole cryptocurrency market maybe in the near future, maybe in the next 3 to 6 months, will be $3.677 trillion. And that's realistic. And let's say hypothetically, Bitcoin holds its current dominance at 40%. This is where I got this number. Okay, so total market capitalization, all of cryptocurrency combined, gets about $3.6 trillion. I think that's realistic considering people are saying it's going to get 10 trillion. People are saying, people are saying Bitcoin is going to get 10 trillion itself and pass gold. So I am being like under conservative, like extremely, very, very safe with this price prediction. If we look at right here, all I did was calculate Ethereum's price if this was a reality as well. So all I did was take Ethereum's market cap and multiply it by 1.81. So all I did was take Ethereum's price and multiply it by the same multiple. So if Ethereum holds its current position, as you can see here, as a 17.7% dominance, if Ethereum holds 17.7% dominance, then we could potentially see the price of Ethereum coming to about $5,545. That's great. That's a great return on Ethereum's price. Remember, we're looking for big returns. I want to see like 3 to 5x returns, especially when we're in this volatile market with all this risk, right? So all I'm saying, and this is the assumption I'm going to make here, and of course this is speculation, but let's say hypothetically, right now Cardano has about a 3% market dominance of the whole entire market. Let's say hypothetically it jumps up to about half of Ethereum. So I'm not even saying Cardano is going to pass Ethereum. All I'm saying is Cardano will have maybe a 9% dominance over the whole entire market, which if we look at Ethereum from 18%, that's half. So I'm saying, okay, Cardano maybe halfway competes with Ethereum. That's the assumption I'm making here. So not only does the whole entire market grow, but also Cardano's market cap grows as well. Okay, I think it's going to happen. If smart contracts come out, I think Cardano is going to eat some market share, the other layer ones for sure. And number two, it's going to compete with Ethereum. Maybe not pass it in the next year, but I do think it's going to be the best competition towards Ethereum. So I think it's safe. I think it's safe to say that we're going to have maybe a 9% dominance of the whole entire market for Cardano's price, as well as the increase. So again, this is where the math gets really, really interesting. So if we come over here and we look at the total market capitalization prediction that we just made, right? So we just said it's going to be 3.6 trillion, as you can see at the top here, $3.6 trillion for all the market cap. Multiply that by the 9% that I just, assumed here, the speculation. We can see that Cardano's market cap is going to be $330 billion, okay? Which is roughly around the same market cap that Ethereum has right now. It's not that far off, to be honest, especially if the whole market increases by 81%. Then yeah, that's not, I don't think it's that far-fetched, to be completely honest with you guys. So what would that be? Now first, let me explain how to calculate the actual price of a coin. So if you come over to Cardano, all you have to do is calculate the market cap and divide it by the circulating supply, and this is how you get the current price of Cardano. So again, if you just take this market cap here, you can see the market cap here, we divide it by the circulating supply of Cardano, you can see the circulating supply here, you can see I get a price of $2.20. This is how they come up with the price of Cardano. So we're going to do the same thing, but instead of using this market cap, we're going to use the market cap of 330 million, and this is where I bring up the next part here, which is the price prediction for Cardano. Boom! $10.32. So again, the two assumptions I'm assuming here is that Bitcoin gets, there's a lot of assumptions, don't get me wrong. So let me just run through it one more time. Bitcoin gets to 80K, okay? Bitcoin holds 40% dominance of the market. So what I'm saying is the whole total market capitalization increases by 81% as well, okay? Which I don't think is far off. Now I'm also assuming that Cardano takes more market share. Cardano takes about 9% dominance of the whole entire market, okay? And this is how we're coming to this price. That's all I'm saying. So again, one more time, I just want to be very clear so everybody understands. Cryptocurrency as a whole increases by 81%. Cardano increases its market dominance to about half of Ethereum. Half of Ethereum. And this is assuming, of course, if Ethereum keeps its market dominance of about 18%. If that happens, then we can see a price of Cardano at $10.32. You could do the math in your head. If you put $10,000 in Cardano, that could be roughly 50 grand, maybe in the next 6 months to a year. I don't think that's bad. It's better than any traditional financial investment you could ever invest in. This is the future. Cryptocurrency is here to stay, guys. Here's my price prediction. Again, it's probably not accurate, but you can see how I underestimated, and we still see a lot of growth. Now, this can be completely invalidated if we go into a bear run. If we go into a bear run, I don't think it's going to be invalidated forever. It's going to take longer to get there. It might just take 2 years, which is not that big of a deal considering the fact that, again, the greatest investment you'll ever make in your life. Like people, like my portfolio has gone up thousands of percentages since this recent bull run. And you know, you can't even get thousands of percentages in a lifetime in some cases. So guys, don't get greedy. We're still on the cusp of innovation. Cardano's here to stay. It's going to take more market share, 100%, from other coins. I do think eventually, maybe in the future, it might pass Ethereum if we see, you know, this layer 1 ecosystem thrive a little bit bigger, and if we see Cardano definitely get more smart contracts. We need to see the ecosystem develop, guys. If we see that, then maybe it passes Ethereum in the future. But that's it for this video, guys. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this, guys. Catch you in the next one.